Hi, I'm Sarah Borders with Benefits Compliance Solutions. First of all, I want to say to our armed forces, Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your sacrifice. God bless you for what you do for our freedoms. Recently, the IRS introduced some relief related to mid-year election changes, including health FSAs and dependent care FSAs. And I want to bring up a few items to discuss with you when you're deciding whether or not you're going to allow employees to make these mid-year election changes to their health FSAs, because these add a layer of complexity. So remember that health FSAs have to adhere to what we call the uniform coverage rule. And this rule basically says that the full amount of the election has to be available on the first day of the coverage period. So for example, if your health plan begins on January 1st, an employee elects $2,500 in FSA elections, then they could, if they have a qualified medical expense and incur it on that day, they could be reimbursed for the full amount on day one before they've ever paid any salary reductions towards paying it back. So essentially it's just a pot of money that's available until it's all used up. Now, as you know, somebody could, when they leave coverage or when they leave employment, they could, you could have an overspent account and you're out that money. But in the case of these mid-year election changes that are allowed right now, you'll want to be careful when you let somebody reduce or revoke their health FSA election for this very reason. Because if you allow them to revoke their election and they've already received reimbursement for the full amount but haven't paid salary reductions to pay it back, then you would be out that money, and that would be perfectly allowable under the rules. So you need to draft your plan document in such a way that allows this limit of your exposure. So for example, you could limit the decrease of the health FSA to the amount that hasn't been spent yet. This is one thing you can do, and it really has to be spelled out in your plan document. The plan document has to be amended by the end of next year, 2021. So you need to think through this with your qualified vendor or your attorney or your compliance expert before you go ahead and let employees make these mid-year changes during the pandemic. So let me know if you have any questions on this. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful Memorial Day.